Coming up on the Charge on Air. One of our own Nicholson School of Communications and Media faculty members was honored at UCF Founders Day for 35 years of service this week.
Free-falling fuzzy caterpillars are taking over campus. What they look like and what to do if you encounter the creepy critters.
And if fashion trends are a warning sign for an economic downturn.
In sports, we have an exclusive interview with a UCF men's soccer player before tonight's match at 6.
The Charge on Air starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to the Charge on Air. I'm Ruby Merced.
And I'm Courtney Mcclaine. Today is Friday, April 4th, 2025.
This week, one of our own was honored at the UCF Founders Day ceremony. James Mcclaine, known around the Nicholson building as Jim, received an award for 35 years of service at the university. The ceremony was held in the Pegasus Ballroom in the Student Union and included many members of university leadership as well as President Cartwright. Mcclaine has been working in technology at the university since he came to UCF, and he was played a major role from the very start in making our broadcast facility what it is today. He took some time to share what getting this award meant to him.
The 35-year award was just another way of finishing off a long career working at the University of Central Florida and working for Nicholson School. I've enjoyed it.
As for the future, Mcclaine's next adventure includes enjoying retirement as he finished up his time at UCF in January.
Students may notice dozens of fuzzy caterpillars while walking around UCF's main campus. White-marked tussock moths are beginning to hatch, free-falling from trees and onto walls, the ground, and even people. These critters are on campus to spend their new life looking for a suitable location to spin new cocoons and begin transforming into moths, a process that takes up to 2 weeks. Native to North America, the caterpillars are known for their bright white, yellow, and red colors. While maybe cute to some, be wary of these guys and avoid contact with the creatures as their bristle-like hairs can cause stings and cause irritation and rash. But students like Ambika Jacaron believe there is more appeal than fear for these creatures.
That's okay.
The critters?
I don't want to step on them. I think that they're very fuzzy and cute, and I try to keep out of their way. And maybe I'll stop to take a picture, but that's about it.
The critters are mostly spotted in parking garages around campus, but naturally reside in trees.
If you've been on social media lately, you might be noticing the viral trend called recession core. Charge on Air reporter Kayla Kissel has more on what this trend is.
They say the devil wears Prada, but in uncertain times, she might swap it for something a little more practical. Hemlines are dropping, colors are softening, and consumers seem to be buttoning up not just their coats, but their wallets too. And while it's no crystal ball, fashion does have a habit of forecasting more than just the next season's trends. This theory isn't new. In the 1920s, economist George Taylor coined what's called the hemline index, suggesting that skirt lengths rise when the economy thrives and fall when it sinks. But does that still hold up today? Kylie Knickerbocker is the president of UCF's Fashion Society. She says she's seen a shift in what people are wearing and how they are shopping.
I definitely do think fashion can be very telling of the times. Again, I feel like in the recent years, people have been really switching towards the thrifting initiative.
Or again, with like people trying to find like multiple ways to wear the same thing. That way they're not buying new clothes and they can just use what they already have.
And Kylie's not alone. Thousands on social media are noticing the shift to business casual, longer skirts, and what the department stores are dishing out.
Fashion reflects the times, and right now some people say the racks are looking recession ready. Luxury is slowing, thrift stores are booming, and recession core is going viral. Not just with clothing, but with makeup, food, music, and even grad school enrollment rates. So some are left wondering whether or not these fashion fads are faux or fact.
Well, here's the facts. Just this week, Goldman Sachs bumped up the recession odds from 20% to 35%. Meanwhile, some of the people who actually control the money, chief financial officers, say there's a 58% chance we'll be in a full-blown downturn by the end of 2025. And after this week's global tariff announcement by the Trump administration, the stock market has taken a tumble.
In other words, they charge us, we charge them less, so how can anybody be upset?
Mcclaine is an economics professor at UCF. He says while you could pose a hypothesis for the hemline index, it can predict nothing without data.
So economics being empirical science, to really test whether this is true, you need to take this hypothesis to data.
And he says because of that, while there could be potential for validity,
from a purely anecdotal perspective, it's interesting. I wouldn't take it seriously as a quote-unquote recession predictor.
While the viral recession core trend can't officially be confirmed, Sang and other economists suggest keeping an eye on key indicators like inflation levels, employment rates, and housing market trends. So with all that's happening in America's financial state right now, if fashion really was a reflection of society and the economy was looking in the mirror, would it be seeing a recession staring right back? In Orlando, Kayla Kissel, The Charge on Air.
Sang says students should be keeping an eye on indicators that can provide enough data.
Ride the campus shuttles lately? One popular shuttle overlay has seemingly been removed. Common shuttle overlays, especially those that service off-campus apartments, promote Big 12 and UCF's programs. Gus Malzahn's Gus Bus overlay was removed earlier this year after the football coach left UCF. Now it appears that the LGBTQ plus pride overlay has been removed from these shuttles as well. The Charge on Air reached out to UCF Parking Services via phone call, who confirmed that the buses were removed due to, quote, recent policies.
Commuting just got more expensive for Florida drivers. On March 31st, lawmakers officially ended the Florida Toll Relief Program. Frequent toll road users used to save half of their toll-free costs by receiving an automatic 50% credit back to the account. Without a relief, UCF commuter students are now facing rising transportation costs. Students like Josh Harvey, who commutes 3 to 5 days a week to school, is questioning whether coming to school is worth it.
My dad was talking about how tolls have gotten so bad to the point where he really thinks I should decide whether I really need to go to the campus, whether it's worth it just because it costs so much money just to get across the toll.
For many UCF students, this change will add yet another financial burden to their education. While tolls impact our wallets, weather conditions impact our daily commutes.
Well, if you're looking to get on the road, the weather can make a big difference in your drive.
That's right, and thankfully we're looking at pretty nice weather ahead, so we don't have to worry about it affecting our drive, but it's progressively getting hotter and hotter every day as we approach summer. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm ditching my jeans and I'm going in for dresses instead. So let's take a look at our current conditions on that note. So we're going to be looking at 83 degrees right now with a humidity of 53%. That's pretty moderate, and we got some winds going southeast at 11 miles per hour and a 0% chance of rain. So with that in mind, we're going to be having some nice hair days, and you could leave that umbrella at home. So we'll keep it at that, and I'll see you guys later for more weather.
Thank you so much, Emily.
President Trump proclaimed yesterday Liberation Day and announced regulatory tariffs that lead to the largest stock market losses since 2020.
Plus, UCF's response to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis' state Doge tweet and why one UCF professor isn't all too worried.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
For decades, I've taught you everything I know. How to safely build a fire. How to control the flames. What to do with hot coals. How to secure your chains. But I can only teach wildfire prevention. Only you can prevent wildfires.
When we have the food we need, we are at our best. We push further. We rise higher. We unlock our full potential. When we are at our best, we have more to offer the world around us. When we have the food we need, we make our communities stronger. Together, we can help everyone get the food they need to thrive. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
President Trump announced sweeping tariffs Wednesday in retaliation to those imposed against the U.S.
It's our declaration of economic independence.
Trump announced the tariffs against many nations that the U.S. trades with.
If you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America.
The president also imposed a 10% baseline tax against all imports in response to what he declared was an economic emergency. The tariffs caused a historic tax hike and a huge Wall Street dip, the biggest since 2020.
Senator Cory Booker delivered a record-breaking 25-hour speech on the Senate floor in protest against the Trump administration's policies. He began Monday evening and remained on the floor until Tuesday night, receiving an eruptive applause from the Senate chamber. During the speech, Booker read letters from his constituents highlighting the harm they've endured under the administration and his concerns regarding the current state of our country. The marathon surpassed Senator Thurmond's previous record in 1957 of 24 hours and 18 minutes. Booker's office said in a news release that his prepared material was over 1,100 pages long.
As Governor Ron DeSantis' State Department of Government Efficiency Task Force reaches university campuses, we're starting to feel its impact here at UCF. DeSantis delivered remarks on higher education at a Florida Board of Governors meeting in Tallahassee, shortly after UCF publicly recognized the year-long movement for the first time on X. It's glitching. The Post says UCF looks forward to partnering with the Doge team to boost its commitment to efficiency. During his speech, he discussed how Florida universities should focus on what the classical mission of universities should be by removing courses that pertain to ideological studies. When we previously touched on Doge implications on the quality of higher education in Florida, professors like Robert Casanello said Doge efforts won't impact his curriculum because he won't let it.
Because this will pass. You know, there's been times in Florida's history when lawmakers wanted to stop the teaching of evolution at colleges and universities, right? You know, and they weren't successful, even though they did put up a big fight about it.
Casanello believes that the legislative push to remove DEI and ideological topics from college campuses will eventually fade out.
Charge On Air reporter Rain Keenan joins us at the desk now. Rain, you reported on the introduction of Florida's Doge last month. What changes can we see at UCF if this move is successful?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for having me here, guys. So something that DeSantis said in his address to the Florida Board of Governors is that he's going to rid universities of topics that pertain to ideological studies. So what is an ideological study? It's a very broad umbrella term that covers subjects that pertain to human experiences. So it includes subjects like racial studies, gender studies, but also vital subjects of society like psychology, sociology, and philosophy. So based off of his address, we're not completely sure what could be taken away off the UCF curriculum.
How is Florida going to find which classes to remove?
So during DeSantis' address to the Board of Governors, he said they're going to be utilizing AI to get rid of these topics, which is a very broad strategy, but we'll just have to see how this AI tactic goes into play.
Thank you for your insight, Rain.
When we come back, we'll get a look at the national weather forecast from Embry-Riddle student Penelope Anderson and our local Florida weather from our very own Emily Ching.
Plus, the addition of a brand new UCF women's hockey team and the cost it brings. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Jason, let's go see your room.
What do you think? We kept it a little spare, so you can decorate it how you like.
Dinner! Go?
Excellent. Suckers. Yeah, I saw you guys out there.
Welcome back, everyone.
It's time to check in with student meteorologist Penelope Anderson from Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University for a look at the national forecast.
Starting off on our western portions of the United States, a low pressure system is hanging right over the state of Arizona. And as we move into our Friday evening and Saturday, we see this low pressure system bring with it the chance of rain and snow as we continue throughout the weekend. And as we move over to the eastern portions of the United States, a secondary low pressure system is hanging right over Texas and Arkansas, bringing with it an elevated risk of strong to even severe storms as we move into our Friday evening. But with these chances of stronger storms is the flooding potential. So some states like Texas, Arkansas, and Missouri could even see the potential of a life-threatening situation, while others will see widespread flash flooding continue as these storms move in. And as we look at our national forecast, we see a lot of rain and snow for our weekend. So as we move into Saturday, we see that snow and rain continue and even into Sunday. Back to you, UCF, for a closer look at your Florida forecast.
Thanks, Penelope.
Now, let's check in with Emily Ching for our weekly weather update.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at today's weather. So we're going to be starting off north in the state with Gainesville being 83 degrees and Palm Coast hitting 82 degrees. And as we go closer to Leesburg, it's going to be similar to Gainesville. It's going to be 83 degrees. So if you're by that area, go to Venetian Gardens Park to kind of take in that flora and fauna that our great state has to offer. And then if you move towards Central Florida, we're going to be seeing 83 degrees in downtown Orlando and 84 in Winter Haven. And by the coast on the west side, it's going to be 86 degrees, kind of our highest temperature of the state, and 81 degrees in Melbourne. So we're going to look at our 5-day forecast. We're going to be getting a kind of warm weekend with 91 on Saturday and 92 on Sunday. And as we push closer to the week, we're going to be getting kind of cooler, thankfully. But don't let these partly cloudy skies scare you, because it's going to still be very high in the UVs, hitting 9s and 10s. So if you want to go to the pool, feel free to do that, and kind of make sure to put on some sunscreen and put those sunglasses on, and like Soldier Boy, also put those turn that swag on as well. That's you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Emily. 3 women's basketball players have applied to transfer portal. What this could mean for the future of UCF women's basketball.
Plus, an exclusive interview with men's soccer player Alex Smith and what he has to say before heading into tonight's game against the Stetson Hatters.
We'll be right back.
I don't remember how it started. Our back and forth. Victory. Fumble. Repeat. It always came back.
Dad! Okay, here we go, throw it! Yeah.
You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
Nice.
Bring it.
Time out, guys. I'm late to dinner. My mom's gonna kill me. Catch you guys later.
Mom wants us home.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You guys need a ride?
Sure. Yeah. All right. How about some one-on-one?
I gotta go eat, man. Sorry, I'll see you later.
But I've got to shoot how crazy it is at UCF right now.
How's it going, UCF fans? It's Jack Hansel. I hope you kept your plans open for this Friday night, because the UCF men's soccer team is wrapping up with its spring season with just 3 games left to play. Having already tested new strategies and built chemistry over 5 matches, the Knights have tried experiments with new players on the squad. With summer break just around the corner, the challenge shifts to finding the right balance between rest and preparation. Our reporter Manuela Salinas is live at the soccer field where the Knights are set to play later today. Manuela, what's it looking like out there?
For soccer, and I'm here on the field with Alex Smith. Alex, how important have the spring games been on preparing for the upcoming season?
Spring games are super important for us to keep our confidence high, to build team chemistry, especially considering all the new guys we have, but also just to keep taking over and keep working on tactics and things that will help us in the fall.
Summer break is coming up. How are you balancing relaxation and preparation?
Considering that spring and the fall we're very taxing on our body, I think I'll have to take a few weeks off. But after that, we'll get back into individual training and training with the team just to make sure I'm ready for the fall and ready for what's next.
There's so many new faces on the roster. How are you guys still building that chemistry before heading to the upcoming season?
Considering we do have a lot of new guys, I think listening to their stories, talking to them in Garvey, we go lift, we do hard things. I think just being there for them and helping them not only as friends but also as teammates, I think is super important and will help us win games.
What's your favorite part of being part of this team this year?
Just having a ton of friends, the guys who I can go to, guys who want to help me on the field, but also want to help me in other realms of life. I love these guys, but I think the most important thing is just having a solid group of teammates who are there for me on the field and off the field.
Thank you so much, Alex. And well, that was our time for today. Remember that you can come later and support the team at 6 p.m. I'm live from the soccer field. Manuela Salinas, back to you at the studio.
Thanks, Manuela. And if you can't make it to tonight's game, there are 2 more you can go attend to next weekend. UCF is gearing up to introduce its first women's ice hockey team. Charge on Air reporter Nicholas Hernandez has more on what it takes to start the team.
Grace Katina plays in a recreational hockey league now, but she's just one of several women at UCF eager to hit the ice dressed in black and gold. That's because a new women's ice hockey club is in the works for the Knights. The club says they hope to become an official RSO and join the College Hockey South Conference. But getting started in hockey isn't cheap. Eric Adelson is the faculty advisor for the new club. He says it's one of the most expensive sports in the continent.
Renting ice costs a lot of money, whether it's practice or playing. The demand for ice locally, also statewide, is always strong. There's only 2 rinks in Orlando, and so the demand for that is going to be intense.
The UCF Women's Ice Hockey Club says they're considering sharing the Orlando Ice Den with the already established men's club. Now, reserving ice time can get a little pricey, but getting the gear necessary to play doesn't always have to be.
Adelson says players can buy used gear to get around the cost of expensive equipment. This makes the sport more accessible to new players like Katina, who says she's only been playing for just under a year.
I actually ordered a lot of my gear off Sideline Swap. It's quite cheap. You have to pay for shipping quite a few times, but it's really good for used gear, secondhand gear, and everything is really safe, protected. So that's where I got all mine, and it wasn't too expensive.
Katina says the new club is also getting support from the men's team with equipment. With enough members and funding, the club says they hope to continue the statewide growth of women's ice hockey. In Orlando, Nicholas Hernandez, The Charge on Air.
And that's unfortunately all the time we have left for today. I got to toss it back to the desk, Ruby and Courtney.
That's all our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week on our website, thechargenews.com.
Plus, you can follow us on Instagram at The Charge News.
And now we'll leave you with a live shot of International Drive. Thanks for watching and have a great day.